Welcome to the Exec Exchange, 15-minute podcast in which a leader from the water sector shares a story to inspire, educate and inform other water sector leaders from around the globe. My name is Piers Clark and my guest today is Bordin Udol, the Chief Executive of Wastewater in Bangkok, Thailand. And what we're going to be talking about today is the EEC, not the European Community, as some of you might be thinking, but instead it is the Eastern Economic Corridor and some of the challenges that Wastewater is dealing with in Thailand. Bordin, it's wonderful to be connected with you. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you so much, Piers.
We always start by wanting to know a little bit about our podcaster. Now, we met about 8 months ago, and you were very new in the role. So you've now been in post for almost a year, and you know that means that you're out of the honeymoon period. So whatever goes wrong, it's your fault.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah.
All right. Can you talk me through what were you doing before you joined Wastewater?
I began my career as an environmental engineer working for a design project of wastewater treatment facilities about 30 years ago. And that facility is for about 10% of Bangkok province area. I was working with a consultant in Thailand and, help the government to design the wastewater collecting and treatment system for a part of Bangkok. And down the road, when I start growing up in my career, I proposed to set up a company that provide a wastewater solution for the mother company. And I was appointed as the managing director when I was 32 years old. And I have been in charge for that job for 15 years. And 3-4 years down the road, I joined Wastewater as the chief operating officer. And that's about 10 years ago.
And that was the step up to become chief executive 10 months ago.
Yes, since last year. So more than 30 years of experience. One key lesson has become very clear to me that sustainability is no longer a choice. It is a business imperative. And water security is not just an environmental issue, but nowadays it is a fundamental pillar of economic stability.
Absolutely. You can't have populations of humans living where there isn't water and there isn't sanitation. Society will collapse. All right, let's talk about Wastewater. How many people do you serve? Which part of Thailand do you cover? What sort of activities do you do?
Many people know Wastewater as Thailand's largest raw water supplier. But in reality, we see ourselves as a total water solution provider focused on long-term water security. We manage the entire water life cycle from upstream water resources through our large-scale transmission pipeline, or what we call water grid. This water grid covers 3 provinces of Thailand, covering about 13,000 square kilometers. And these provinces is top 5 in GDP, where we rank all 70 plus provinces in Thailand. So basically, these 3 areas are very much one of the economic heart of the country.
This is a zone that's called the EEC, the Eastern Economic Corridor.
Exactly. These 3 provinces are defined as the new economic growth for the country. So we manage from upstream water resources to our large-scale transmission all the way to downstream service. For example, tap water, industrial water treatment, and wastewater management.
It's both drinking water and sanitation.
Exactly, yes. And all those are delivered through our subsidiary company, Universal Utilities. So in short, our mission is simple but critical. We ensure water security that supports sustainable growth for both industry and communities.
So you are running the water utility, both drinking water and sanitation, for the Eastern Economic Corridor in Thailand, one of the most strategic parts of Thailand because it underpins the whole economy. Now, talk me through some of the challenges that you've got that you're facing in running a utility that covers such an important strategic zone.
First of all, Piers, Thailand, as a Southeast Asia country close to equator, our weather is very much tropical weather. When it rains so hard. When it droughts, it's gone. So basically, water resource management is a very big challenge for the country. You may see lately news that part of Thailand has flood problems. And maybe 10 years down the road, you may see that in some area, there is drought problem. And this is very challenge for Eastern Economic Corridor. As I said earlier, it is the new economic heart of the country. It continues to expand, particularly because of the country policy. Nowadays, it has over 6,000 to 7,000 acres of industrial estate, which has more than 10,000 factories. The growth is not slowing down. The growth is climbing up. So in order to support this challenge, Eastwater has developed 553 kilometers of water grid, which connect to 17 national and private reservoirs and another 3 or 4 major rivers and canals.
Well, talk me through some of the challenges that you're facing in particular around that network. What are the things that keep you awake at night?
Our biggest challenge today is climate volatility, which I refer to prolonged dry period of weather from El Niño, followed by unusual heavy rain during La Niña. And in many areas that we are facing is the seasonal saltwater intrusion upstream in major rivers. So basically, the quality of water in these 3 provinces are not stable.
And one of the jobs you've got to do is balance the water quality, make sure the right water quality gets to the right people. Brilliant. So one of the challenges a modern water utility obviously has is managing non-revenue water and leaky pipes and theft from their pipes. Is that an issue that you have in Eastwater?
Yes, definitely. During the last 30 years, we had internally improved our expertise in managing these loss. We feel every drop of water represents sustainability cost. And who knows that at some point in time, that drop may be so valuable during the drought time.
Every drop of water that gets into your network, every drop of water that's being treated is incredibly precious, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. We believe in integrated technology. So we combine advanced systems with deep operation expertise of our people. We have also strong operational culture that we call detect fast, detect quickly, report quickly, and get fixed quickly. With this simple logic, we cut it from before more than 3% in our transmission system down to about 1.3, 1.4 a year ago.
And that point about responding quickly is important, not just because that means that the leaks are reduced because they're not running for long periods of time. It also means that the small leaks don't grow into big leaks. But most importantly, it means the disruption to customers is minimized. It's not just detect, repair, reinstall. It's detect quickly, repair quickly, install quickly, get the whole thing solved. It's a brilliant mindset.
Yeah, exactly. For our operation system, we learn to adapt them. We know that we cannot stop the water flowing in our water grid. Even though we see the leak, sometimes we approach fast, turn down the pressure such that we can online fixing the leak without stopping the water off the pipeline. We very much employ the hydraulic simulation models to simulate different operating scenarios to optimize water level throughout the day in any circumstances. As I said, we knocked it down to about 1.33% about 2 years ago.
The audience listening to this, you'd have caught their attention when you were talking about 1.3% non-revenue water, and they'll have all gone, oh my God, how do I get that? They will have then realized you were talking about the trunk mains, the transmissions, so that's okay, that's big. Everyone's now waiting to hear what's the figure that you've got in your distribution system, because that, of course, is a much more complicated, many more joints, many more connections, many more opportunities for there to be leaks. Do you know what your non-revenue water is in the distribution system?
16%. But the point is, we start our concession with 30% plus about 17 years ago when we received the asset from the government.
So when the company was formed, you inherited the assets that were in public ownership. And of course, as is always the way, they've been underinvested and you've had to do a lot of work to upgrade them.
Exactly. And we believe in our operational excellence that our people provide, keep plugging in with technology that are available this day. For example, here we apply the active leakage control combined with the AI, big data analytics to identify what we call invisible leaks. We just start employing this approach about a year ago, and we start seeing so much benefit. It is basically an add-on to what we have achieved so far that, it used to take us time to find where the leak is, but this AI technology helps us to identify it quicker. So we believe that we are on the right track, that we employ both technology and execution and commitment to sustainability.
It is a terrific journey you've gone on. And the non-revenue water, my takeaway from this conversation is here you are, the leader of a water utility that's serving a very important strategic zone in Thailand. inherited the assets from the government 17 years ago, and you've been on a long journey of improvement and have achieved some staggering things, reducing non-revenue water in the distribution network from 30% to 16%, and in the transmission from 3% to 1.3%. I'm intrigued to hear whether you think you can get even lower. Do you think you can get lower than 16%? Where do your heart tell you you'll settle at?
World best practice is about 9 to 10, right, in some area. If my peer can do it, then we find a way to achieve it as well. Before, we seem to think that would it be economical to achieve lower than 16%? Because cutting down from 30 to 20 is one thing, 20 to 15 is one thing, right? The 15 down to 10 is another thing. But with the technology these days, we start seeing the pathway that we can achieve the world best practice level.
Brilliant. Bordin, it's wonderful to chat with you. I'd like to finish with a question asking you to go back 30 years. Before you were even doing design consultancy, what advice would you give a young Bordin Udol?
I always want to be a successful business person, following my dad's footsteps. I put myself into the environmental arena of business. So if I were to talk to my old self again, I would say that be open for challenge, be resilient, and when the time comes, just tackle the challenge as your gut feeling tells you so, and you will be what you dream for.
You have been listening to the Exec Exchange with me, Piers Clark, and my guest today has been Bordin Udol, the Chief Executive of Wastewater in Bangkok, Thailand. Thank you to our sponsors, and until next time, keep asking questions, keep sharing, and keep safe.